Hey guys, and welcome back for another HellfireComms movie commentary. Today we're going to be checking out Summer Wars, the 2009 anime movie by Madhouse. We're watching the subbed version, because when I'm watching anime I haven't seen, I just prefer to go with the subbed version, really. I have no problem with dubs of any kind. You know, I love Dragon Ball, Pokemon's great, but just going into it, I like to experience it in its original format. And this was actually a patron's choice, which means a bunch of you guys vote for this. Thank you very much for your support. And I have Richie with me for this one, because you have seen Summer Wars before, haven't you?
I have indeed. Never in the dub, in the sub, but I have seen it in the dub, and the dub's actually really good. When you told me we were doing something, I was just like, eh?
Well,
but it's all good because Summer Wars is just a brilliant film and I love it.
Sounds like a good one to celebrate our 10th anniversary with. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed part 1 of the Bayonetta playthrough and the Harry Potter abridged video. So yeah, let's cap off this little anniversary of ours with a movie com. All the syncing instructions you'll need are in the video description, so if you're new to this format or you just need a refresher course, check that stuff out, and we're going to get right on into it. In 3, 2, 1. Okie Kokie Summer Wars, produced by Madhouse in 2009. That's about all I managed to glean before I set up to start recording.
Yeah, so it'd be a bit more helpful to go into a few other things around that. So it's directed by Mamoru Hosoda, who is a name that quite a few people will probably recognise. He's done pretty good work in anime so far. I mean, his other big film before Summer Wars was The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which came out in 2006.
I love that film.
I know. And actually what's really awesome is that he also directed certain bits of Digimon the movie.
Yeah, thought so.
Primarily, I think the first part, so the Digimon Adventure, and then our war game, which is particularly interesting when you come to Summer Wars, because there's a few notable similarities there that I think some people would notice. That's actually a fact I didn't find out until just now.
It's funny, I thought Digimon actually came after Summer Wars. I was quite surprised to see it was, well, in the grand scheme of things, a rather relatively recent film.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can gather, Summer Wars is a kind of completely original animated film. Like, there is no original basis for it, like a manga or something.
Yeah.
Because that tends to be what happens in so many instances of anime. It's based on a manga. But this is kind of wholly original, and then they created a manga adaptation after the film came out.
This is a little bit like the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games, some of the hub areas.
Yes, I mean, I think, from what I can tell, anyway, from how I've seen Japan present this sort of idea every now and again, I think they've got a pretty set idea that kind of translates across quite a lot of artists, which is quite cool. And also, you can really see the our wargame influences here. You've got the way the lines are drawn around all of the characters here in Oz, and it's a really stunning place. Basically, I think a lot of people have focused on this idea of a massive online hub world where everyone can go.
Yeah.
And it's where I think a lot of people do see the internet going at some point in the future.
Well, I mean, it's already kind of, like, started to happen, because you had Second Life, which launched years ago.
Oh, definitely.
Now you've got, like, the concept of VR chat and so on, and obviously, again, the Cyber Sleuth games pretty much explored this concept to a T, but it's not called Oz, it's called Eden there.
Yeah, and I mean, also you've got things like Ready Player One, which is obviously coming out as a film relatively soon.
Yeah.
Or has done, or what have you. And that explores this kind of similar concept. And it really is one that's fascinating, and I think that Summer Wars does a really good job of presenting it, because Oz just looks really fun and exciting, but also you look at it and you just go, yeah, that's going to be rife for chaos if something went wrong.
Very much so. So, what's your history with Madhouse, mate? Have you ever watched any of their stuff before? I have a list of their works here.
Yeah, so Madhouse is one of those companies where I have watched their works, but not necessarily known that it's by them. So, like, I've seen The Animatrix, so I've seen their 2 bits that were in that, which were Program and World Record.
Okay.
Apparently they did Beyblade, which, of course, I watched.
Yo.
Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, which I watched and loved. Apparently they did Cardcaptor Sakura. They did Chobits, which is lovely. They did Death Note. They did the Devil May Cry anime, which I've also watched. They did the Metropolis film, which came out in 2001, which is a classic.
I really like that.
Oh god, and it's just like, they also did, I haven't watched Paprika, but I've heard very good things about Paprika.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those anime that kind of tends to come up a lot in lists of their best anime of all time. So it's probably one I should look into at some point. But yeah, they've done some really awesome stuff over the years, and I'm quite glad that I've now realised how much they have done that I've watched, because it's kind of put a lot of the stuff into context of why I quite like the style of this and why it all works together, for me anyway.
Just a few picks that you skipped over here. They did, like, Birdie the Mighty. They did Season 1 of One Punch Man. What else have they got here? I'm trying to see, like, anything that catches my eye. Strawberry Panic, Street Fighter, I'm not entirely sure which Street Fighter that is. Space Pirate Captain Herlock, The Endless Odyssey. Bit of a classic anime. There's a reference to it in Steven Universe. Gotta get an SU reference in there.
Of course you have. You had your excitement during when we were recording Bayonetta, so...
Yeah. If I seem a bit distracted during part 2 of Bayonetta, it's because they just dropped the Steven Universe promo for the upcoming episodes at the time. Alright, we're getting truly into the film now. Don't hate me for having like of a certain cartoon series, Richie, please.
But I have to say, I think this is a really cool intro credit sequence, because King Kazuma is just awesome.
Oh, is that the rabbit dude?
That's the rabbit dude, and he's pretty epic.
Just kind of reminds me a little bit of Rapidmon, really.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, there's a lot of Digimon influence here. A lot of it. And that is totally fine by me.
Seems a bit more whimsical, though, I gotta say.
Yes, I would say it's at once more whimsical, and also it's a lot more in-depth. So, obviously, our wargame is what I would say you can kind of have a massive similarity between this and that. They've got very similar plot arcs. But Summer Wars is basically the culmination of, I think, what our wargame should have been. In that it really does delve into some of the issues of the kind of whole story of the thing, and there's some really fascinating character arcs that go on throughout this, and it's both fascinating and just really enjoyable at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You ever had a bento box, Richie? The thought just popped into my head.
I have not, and that's largely because, well, I don't like rice. Don't really do seafood, so that's basically buggered up pretty much any bento box that anybody would make, so yeah, it's not really my thing. Have you?
No, but I'm more perplexed as to why you don't like rice. It's fucking rice.
I just don't like the texture. It's one of these weird things, like, I really like semolina, which is basically the same as rice pudding, but it's not because it's the texture. Yes, I'm weird, I know.
Yeah, I'm lost for words here. Music's nice.
Oh yeah, pretty much everything about this film is gorgeous. I mean, I can't necessarily say much about the original Japanese voice actors, but I know that everyone in the dub did a phenomenal job, and just the look of the film, the sound of the film, it's just all really lovely. And I remember when I watched it for the first time, I was just like, okay, I am actually in love with this film.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you know, we may be watching the sub, but you can go over the dubcast if you'd like, mate. Yeah,
so Kenji, who is one of our main protagonists, he's the 17-year-old math-savvy high school student. In the dub was voiced by Michael Sinterniklas.
Okay.
who most people would know as voicing Leonardo in the 2003 series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He is also... I'm just seeing if I can find anything... Oh, he's the voice of Satoshi Osugi in Eden of the East, which is actually a really good anime series that I would recommend you watch. It's brilliant. He's the voice of the Netherlands in the Hetalia series.
Okay, just a few roles per person, mate. I'll be here all day.
Yeah, it's very true. Oh, he's also the Dark Magician in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I didn't realise the Dark Magician talked.
And he's also a few people in
Richie, move on.
I know, I can't help it. Then you've got the girl that he's kind of... It's his friend, and she's dragged him out here to a family home. And that's Natsuki, and she is voiced in the dub by Brina Palencia.
Mm-hmm.
Who most people would recognise as being the voice of Ciel in Black Butler. Tony Chopper in One Piece. Vi Greythorn in Case Closed, and Hanoka Sakurai in Suzuka. And many other roles as well.
Yeah, that just kind of washed over me like a sea of names, really.
Yeah, don't worry, it pretty much washed over me as well. And then there's a lot of other people in the cast. Like, it's a pretty damn big cast. It really is.
Alright, we'll leave it for there for now and just focus on what's going on here. So, this is Natsuki's great-grandmother's birthday party coming up, essentially.
Yes. So she's going to be turning 90.
Wow.
And that's sort of the reason that Natsuki has dragged Kenji along on this trip.
She seems pretty, spry for a 90-year-old, I have to say.
Oh, definitely. Sake Janucci is amazing. She is the sort of great-grandmother everybody would want, and she's an absolute badass.
Did you ever know your great-grandma?
I did, actually. I knew both of them, surprisingly enough, and one of my great-granddads.
Jeez.
So, I mean, my great-nan, who we just called Nan, who actually lived round where we did, relatively close to her. She was lovely. I always remember, because she used to live in this flat, I can't remember where it was, but she had a budgie. And so we always used to sort of play with the budgie, and that was always cute, and so on and so forth. And then I remember my grandparents at the seaside, great-grandparents at the seaside, I remember going, they always used to give us a tiny little bit of pocket money whenever we went round, and that was always really cute.
Oh, bless. I see we've got the pretend your best friend is your lover scenario going on here. A classic trope.
Yes, and I mean, hey, it's one of those things that happened, and I mean, I get the reasoning why Natsuki has done this, because it's the whole thing of, obviously, a great-grandmother is turning 90, and obviously just I don't know how long she's going to live, and I want her to be happy and think that I've settled down with someone, and it's that whole thing of you kind of want to make your family happy in these situations, because whenever you go home, you get that, oh, is there a new boyfriend? Is there a new girlfriend? And you're just just let me enjoy my single life, goddammit.
Well, not to be insensitive, Natsuki, but she'll be dead in a couple of years, so I'll deal with it.
Yeah, so, I think you can probably tell that Kenji's a little bit awkward about this situation.
Well, wouldn't you be? Jesus.
Oh yeah, this would be, my worst nightmare. Particularly because, as you can probably slightly guess, that Kenji may or may not have a little teensy bit of a crush on Natsuki.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching an animated version of you.
Surprisingly enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that, although this guy is much more intelligent at maths than I am.
Well, you've got him beat in every other area right now, so... Just take the damn compliment, Jesus.
I can't, because one, then I'd look like I have a massive ego.
Well, you do.
And obviously that's not good. But also, I don't really see myself like that, so, yeah.
Getting whiffs of Only Yesterday here, and I'm having a bit of PTSD from the Ghibli film, but I will persevere, because I know for a fact that the film juxtaposes IRL and virtual reality beautifully.
Oh, definitely. And also, this is very much not like Only Yesterday, because you're gonna get, like, a pretty massive family here. Like, obviously when you've got the great-grandmother being alive, and obviously she's quite the matriarch, you're going to have a lot of kids, a lot of wives of those kids, or husbands of those kids, and then kids of their kids, and just it keeps going down. And it's quite impressive.
Not to disparage Mum 64, but I've always been kind of jealous of these large types of families. Just like these, communes, essentially, with loads of different family members living together. I don't know, it just seems very cozy.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think I'd probably be slightly terrified of a family this size. I would say that I'm quite happy with the size of my kind of family. We're relatively, we're medium-sized, I would say. But so we can have like a pretty nice big get-together, and it's a lot of fun. But it's not so big that it's just so easy to just get lost in the chaos.
Alright, we're getting a bit of a family overview here.
Don't worry if you forget everybody's names, because that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
There's really only a few characters who you really want to pay major attention to,
Right.
which are Kenji, Natsuki, Sake. There's a character who I don't think has been introduced just yet, but he will be soon. And then there's another one who hasn't turned up at present.
They're taking to this engagement announcement pretty calmly, I have to say. Just a few drinks here and there.
Well, you see, it's what happens when you've got a big family. Everyone's just like, hey, success! And then you just have like a family party, and that's just what you do.
Oh god, I'm getting conflicting messages over it.
Yeah, obviously family politics. Always a delight.
What the fuck?
Well, when you're kind of, together, you kind of do make that assumption that it might be happening. It's not something you really talk about at the dinner table when there's, kids present, but hey.
Oh, they're too young to know what's going on, really.
It's true. And yeah, conversations, they just get quite creepy.
Is he one of the main characters? He has a bit of a mouth on him.
Well, the thing is that sort of the rest of the family are sort of main characters, but they're more side main characters. They're not hugely important, but they are important to this family. And as you can see, Sake is just like, I don't need half-assed men. Ah!
Like, you don't need strength, you just need, like, morals, will, and conviction.
Exactly.
Oh god, precious lore, mate. Oh, with the ornamental armour and the katanas and everything.
I mean, the thing is that the film is set in Ueda, which is a real-life location in Japan. So let me just get Ueda up. So it's in Nagano Prefecture, which is sort of pretty much central Japan.
Yeah, we're no stranger to Nagano in our commentary business.
Definitely not. We've come across it quite a lot, specifically in Okami. But the reason that it was chosen as the setting for Summer Wars was because it was part of the territory once governed by the Sanada clan, who are basically, I think they were kind of a long descended family that were there for many years.
Right.
But also, it was close to Hosoda's birthplace in Toyama. So Hosoda, the director. And he used the Sanada clan as the basis for the Janucci family after visiting his then fiance's home in Ueda. So, obviously, there's a lot of his sort of family stuff going on here.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to write stuff involving families. Just take from what you know, really.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's pretty much a key in writing, no matter what. You write what you know, because that way it's going to be more realistic in terms of how you're working. And here's the other sort of main character.
Ah, I see. Wherever there is a laptop, hacking will be involved.
Yeah, so this is Kazuma, who's the second cousin of Natsuki.
Okay.
And he's quite a whiz kid. So, I mean, in the dub, he's voiced by Maxie Whitehead, who is the voice of Alphonse Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Krona in Soul Eater. And yeah, it's just like mate.
Antics. Bants.
Of course.
Bath antics. Bathtics. There you go. What rating was this film again?
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a U.
Okay.
Let me double check that. It might be a bit more than that. I mean, I could do the sort of smart thing of, going to my... Oh, it's PG, there we go.
There you go, parental guidance.
Because I was going to say I could just go over to my DVD cabinet and get it out, but that would require moving and noise.
Oh, there's a nephew problem here.
Lesser sort of nephew problem, but sort of a nephew problem. It's one of those family things, you've got family issues. And obviously, big family issues. This is Wabisuke Janucci, who is... Let's just say it's a complicated relationship that he has with his family.
Yeah, I'm getting a Dachi vibes from him. Don't leave him alone with your kids.
I can't remember whether it gets revealed later on or what have you, but just to kind of put it out there in the open, because it's not a huge issue, he's the half-granduncle of Natsuki.
Okay.
So he's the illegitimate son of Natsuki's great-grandfather, Tokue.
Right.
So he's pretty much the black sheep of the family, but Natsuki loves him a lot.
Well, I mean, he seems a bit standoffish, but I bet, he loves his family deep down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd agree. And yeah, I'd be very confused at this entire situation as well. It'd be like, what the frick family have I just walked into?
What kind of family have I been forced into? He didn't consent to this.
It's very true, and you see, boys and girls, this is why consent is very important
in any
relationship.
Don't start with me. Come on now. This is like anime trope bands, not real life situations.
Well, not anime trope bands. The rom-com bands. That's what I was going for.
Thank you. What game are they playing here, Rich? For a second I thought it was like Mahjong or something, but I don't think so upon further inspection.
I'm pretty sure it's Hanafuda.
Oh.
They're definitely Hanafuda cards, so... yes, which obviously is what Nintendo started with, which is always quite awesome. The other cool thing is that Hanafuda literally translates to flower cards. Because obviously you've got the Hana, which is the flower, and then Fuda is cards.
Ah.
And that's why they've all got floral designs.
I have to say this would be a rather muted, boring opening if it weren't for the characters. This is where I think they triumph over, slice-of-life stuff like only yesterday, because they all have distinct personalities, whereas everyone is just kind of the same but different genders in only yesterday.
Yeah, whereas here you've actually got a real-life family, where you've got kind of sort of different allegiances in terms of the family structure. You've got all sorts of different politics going on. And I think it's why Summer Wars ends up being just a very mature film in that respect. Because even though it's that fun, adorable anime thing with a bit of major techie stuff going on, it's it's really a family drama, and that's why it's so effective.
I saw a 666 in there, mate. Is this the devil? Is the devil texting him?
No, it's something random has texted him some pretty impressive number coding mystery. And since, he's a major math geek, he's going to try and solve it.
Gotta be honest, what keeps me up at night is checking Twitter on my 3DS, not solving vast equations.
Yeah, I think that'd put me to sleep, because I'll just take one look at it and just go, no.
More like 2 + 2 = snore.
Yeah.
Whee!
We'll see how good an idea that was going forward.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I thought the phone was gonna explode for a second.
No, but really was not the smartest move in the world.
I'm glad they showed those satellite dishes, because I was wondering how they got reception up in the mountains here.
Yeah, you see, well, I mean, you've got to have someone who's pretty tech-savvy to make sure you've got things to be able to get signal, because, I mean, I know if I went to somewhere in the countryside, I'd just be like, I need my technology.
I need my internet. I need internet, a good warm bed. Tasty food is optional, I suppose, but the internet first and foremost.
Yeah, I would not be able to live without the internet. I mean, obviously, pretty much a lot of my job is on the internet, so my work life and my home life spends a lot of time online. So if that died, I would be scuppered.
Huh. Not really sure I like where this is going. You don't crossbar out someone's eyes about there being trouble. Oh.
Yeah, it's not gone well, has it?
Did someone take his avatar? Called him a cracker back there, I'm sorry.
Something very, very suspicious has gone on, and, obviously, since pretty much everything is connected to Oz, everything is going insane.
Jesus. Don't connect your real life to your virtual life. Keep them separate if you're going to get involved in both heavily.
Yeah, but then I totally get why they did this as a thing, because, I mean, you've got to think about it. We, at the current time, are going forward towards a digital society and linking everything up to being online. I mean, I know in the job I do, we're constantly trying to push people towards using online services rather than doing stuff face to face or doing stuff over the phone, because it's cheaper. And obviously, eventually, at some point, we will go to a point where everything will be online, and then that's when, the second it gets hacked, oh boy, you're pretty much scuppered if something goes wrong.
Yep. So, I'm assuming that the person who sent him the code to solve stole his password, managed to hack it, and is running around Oz giving him a bad name.
Pretty much, yeah, and he's clearly not going to be able to get into his account right now.
God. You know what's the worst? When you think you've been hacked, but you keep putting in, one wrong character in your password. It's meant to be uppercase, you accidentally put it in lowercase, it doesn't accept it, so you freak out.
Yeah, I definitely know that feeling. And it's annoying when you've got a kind of massive collection of passwords, and then you're just like, which password did I use for this account? Oh, that was a bad idea.
Such a bachelor pad. Just tons of mess, but the computers are immaculate.
Well, of course. I mean, that's clearly the most important thing.
Oh no! He deciphered the encryption code for us.
Yeah, he did. So, it is entirely his own fault.
Don't solve equations that get sent to you by text. Verify who sent it first.
Exactly, and you definitely don't send back the response. And yeah, that's all you can use to go back into the world of Oz to see what the hell's going on.
Well, he's a little nutty, so it'll have to do for now.
It will indeed.
God, everything's just dead. Well, not even dead, it's like purgatory.
It's just really creepy, and yeah, his old avatar's looking really weird as all hell.
Oh, alright. I can see where the my/our war games connection is coming from.
Yeah, so massive online world, evil something or other decides to take it over. Yeah, you can see the similarities. Yeah, I think this would probably be a massive nightmare for quite a lot of people in their massively multiplayer online RPGs of just going, oh god, everywhere is a PvP zone. Oh, all my stuff.
Everywhere is griefing central. That's gotta be like, you just come on to chat with, like, your relatives in another part of the world, but no, you're forced to fight.
Yeah, it'd just be really bad. But this is pretty awesome, because look who it is!
Raboman.
It's King Kazuma.
Oh, I was hoping he'd warp Digivolve to Omnimon for a second there.
No, that's not going to happen. But it's quite cool because now you can basically realise that King Kazuma is the avatar of Kazuma, who's 13. So, like, the 13-year-old is this complete and utter badass.
Uh-huh. Concentrate.
Yeah, I'm playing video games. Sod off.
Well, that's a video game and more life and death. It's the internet. You must save the internet.
It's true.
Who's the composer for the film, mate?
Let's have a nosy. So the composer is Akihiko Matsumoto.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't have a page, so let's have a look. See if I can find anything out. Oh, there we go, that's a bit better. Got an IMDb account. So, okay, that's not necessarily very helpful. No, I don't think there's anything that people would necessarily recognise.
It's fine, mate. It's fine.
I mean, he did the music for Resident Evil Outbreak in 2003. And he has done... Oh, he did Goemon in 2009.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, he's done quite a lot of other work as well, but I think he does a pretty damn good job here.
Man, fuck the Tournament of Power. Online is where all the action happens.
And this is why you don't let kids run about, because they just cause havoc.
Yeah.
At really important moments.
Raboman, you were supposed to win.
He was, but, yeah, it's not good.
Really? You're a master hacker and you fell for that? Jesus. Oh well, guess I'll be going.
Yeah, don't think he's necessarily so worried about that one. Because he kind of lost. So it kind of means that he's lost a lot of his status, but then to be fair, everything's absolutely buggered anyway, so
Yeah, who's there to appreciate him? It's a bunch of dead accounts.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nice that the kids have a good relationship with the uncle, even with the rest of the relatives bad-mouthing him all the time.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's the whole thing of, obviously, when you're a kid, you don't really understand any of that stuff. You just sort of... You see people that you like and you just sort of enjoy their company.
Okay, that was a bit of a pregnant pause. Something about Love Machine.
Yes, so, it's very... Oh, yeah, Kenji's absolutely screwed. But yeah, basically, the thing that has taken over Oz is very definitely not human, let's put it that way.
Jeez. The shame of it all. He's the son of a blue-collar businessman. Well, that would be white-collar businessman. Sorry, I don't work an IRL thing, can you tell? Grandma don't care.
And of course she don't care. She's just like, well, we can be wherever he's from. I don't care at all as long as he's nice.
Oh, I'm 90, and internet? What's that? Something you catch flies with?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you're literally playing a video game, so those two statements don't really add up.
Yeah, but then that enters into the whole concept of can video games be sport?
We're not touching that one.
Well, I mean, really, I would say it can be, because chess is technically a sport. But, yeah, that's an argument for another day.
They do love their baseball in Japan.
Well, she does, and that family does.
Didn't Nintendo own a team in Seattle until, like, fairly recently where they had to sell it off?
Potentially. I don't really know. Just one of those things, and yeah, this is very super awkward. The profile that Natsuki gave to Genji was actually very much based on Wabisuke.
Woof!
Which was basically her first crush.
Uh-huh.
Which is super awkward.
Hey, you don't care. I'm off. Well, you gotta prove that he actually did it, because the other dude might be using Kenji's avatar, but that doesn't really pin the crime on him.
Yeah, it's one of those things of innocent until proven guilty. It's kind of an important thing. But then I suppose Japan doesn't necessarily work in the same vein as, like, UK law, so...
Pictures me. I might have done the crime, but that doesn't mean I should do the time, Grandma. You've got to believe me.
Exactly, and I mean, you never know, I might be able to help sort the thing out. It's kind of important that, you know, whoever it is doesn't destroy everything.
Well, is it going to get into the real world? That I would say is a problem.
I might not be able to get into the real world if it's not a, you know, living thing, but it certainly will be able to cause chaos since, you know, everything is hooked up to the bloody thing.
I mean, it could download itself into, like, a toaster and burn everyone's toast.
I mean, it could do. I mean, it'd be a pretty crappy AI if it did that. I mean, imagine if Ultron decided, oh, I'm going to be a toaster. I don't think we would have ended up with Avengers Age of Ultron, but then again, to be fair, whether that's a bad thing or not is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, we're not giving our opinions out for free on that one just yet. Wait for the MCU marathon after the friggin' fourth phase is done.
And also, haven't we got to do like another movie marathon first if patrons hit it or something? Wasn't it like Harry Potter that we had down?
Oh yeah, if we hit $1,200 a month, we'll do all the Harry Potter movies, all 8 of them, I believe.
Yeah, so you're kind of going to have to wait until after you've hit that before we touch Marvel, so... Maybe a reason to, you know, get in and donate to Patreon. No, it's not really a donation, is it? Because you're sort of paying us.
It's a pledge,
who cares?
mate. It's technically a pledge, because you're getting a service out of it.
That's the word for it. You see, this is what I don't really do anything on Patreon, so I don't really know all the terminology properly.
Yeah, leave the shilling to me, thank you very much. It is my livelihood.
Yeah, isn't mine, so I just don't know anything. But yeah, this would be the most awkward car journey ever. You stuck in with a policeman just going, but I didn't do anything. Well, I did, but it's not my fault. But it is, but I didn't mean for this to happen. But can I just, go and sort stuff out? Be helpful?
Oh, is the thing messing with, like, the traffic lights and whatnot?
Oh, it's messing with everything. It's messing with clocks, it's messing with maps, it's messing with traffic lights. It's just messing with absolutely everything. I mean, already this is a bad idea. You should not be answering your phone while you're driving. I know it's a standstill almost, but still, it's a terrible idea.
It's not going to end up with, like, a missile launching towards Natsuki's family's house, is it? Because that would be a bit coincidental.
I'm just not going to say anything.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Richie. Like, you should know by now, if you leave a gap for science, you're lying. You're not... Just say anything, like, who knows? Just say who knows.
I mean, who knows? You never do know in these sorts of situations.
Oh, fuck off. Jesus.
I mean, it's certainly a fun way to completely obliterate everybody's sense of what the hell's going on in the world.
Uh-huh.
Just like, ooh, throw a ball. Everyone's buggered.
I will say this is capitalising on a thing that our war games could have done more of. Actual chaos going on in the real world.
Oh, definitely, because it's the whole thing of, obviously, if you've got an entirely online system, and you start messing with the very, very carefully constructed situation, real life world just comes to a halt. It's like if the UK gets snow, we just stop because we're not built to deal with it.
Yep. Well, at least in Nottingham we deal with floods okay, because it's like a hilly city.
Well, it depends which bit of Nottingham you're in, because some places deal with it better than others. On the whole, yeah, it's pretty okay, but that's largely because there are areas of the country that are a lot worse in terms of their flood defences and what they're able to do.
I love if they were just stuck there for the rest of the movie, so he has to do all his battling from, like, a mobile.
I know, that would be pretty ridiculous, but hey, at least, they went to him and just like, just ditch the car, come back, because you're not getting anywhere anytime soon.
Could be cyber terrorism, who knows?
It very much could be cyber terrorism. Oh yeah, this is like the most awkward situation ever. Where
How many times are you going to say awkward throughout this commentary, bro?
About maybe another 90 times, I feel like, because, I mean, I've said it maybe at least twice every 10 minutes, at least.
Oh, God, you're a cockend. Such a cockend.
I know we've got another, hour and 10, so I think I could probably fit in, quite a few before we're done.
This is basically just the first act so far, isn't it? Like, it's paced pretty well, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, it's one of those films that I think you can sort of look at it and just go, this is a pretty perfectly constructed film. It's just really well paced, the soundtrack is just really stunning, the performances are great, and it's got a really good story. And I mean, at the end of the day, it did get really well received by critics. I mean, the Japan Times gave it 5 out of 5 stars, saying that it may contain familiar elements beginning with its bashful, moonstruck young hero, but it combines them in ways fresh, contemporary, and dazzlingly imaginative. And also said that the film provides a social commentary on the differences between an analogue world and a realm of digital devices. So you have that, and also Mark Schelling, who wrote that article, said the future king of Japanese animation may be with us. Hosoda steps out of Miyazaki's shadow with dazzling new film. So obviously there was a lot of love for this. There's a place called Twitch Film that said that following the girl who leapt through time, cries went out immediately hailing Hosoda as Miyazaki's heir apparent.
Mm-hmm.
With Summer Wars, Hosoda is the new king, the best storyteller working within the animated medium in Japan, and quite possibly the world, which is obviously very high praise. With the guy who wrote that article praising it as richly detailed, beautifully written, and gorgeous to look at, and blessed with an extensive cast of stunningly detailed and authentic characters.
They feel very down-to-earth and grounded. There's a little bit of eccentricity here, but it's mostly shown through the animation rather than their actions.
Oh, definitely. And here's like one of the most awesome things that happens in the film, is Sake, this 90-year-old woman who should be just sort of relaxing, is calling up everyone she knows and basically trying to organise sorting themselves out, so that they can actually function as a society again for a bit.
True nature of a matriarch, I suppose. She rules over everything with an iron fist.
Oh, definitely. Like, Sake is the proper matriarch, and she is amazing. And also she has connections to some very high-ranking people.
Well, you live as long as she does, you make a few friends in high places.
Oh, definitely, and also if you come from a very, very storied family that have been around for many generations, you do pick up a few good contacts.
At least everything's not combusting and whatnot. Thank heavens for small miracles. What's going on here? I put it in disorder and now it's reordering.
I know, it's just like, well, matey, you should try a little bit harder, because once the human race actually decides it can start putting things together, then you should be alright. But, yeah, it's kind of realised where the person who's fixing things is, and that's not good.
I know I use this word a lot, but I've always loved the juxtaposition of, like, rural stuff with high technology like this. Like, the classical Japanese homestead is literally a portal to this cyberland.
Oh, definitely, and I mean, the reason the juxtaposition works is because it is so contrasting, but at the end of the day, they do exist in the same world. And so they're able to just balance across each other.
There you go. Oh!
And hey, he's innocent!
Anyone who said, okay, I was going to say, how did it get his avatar if he got it wrong? Anyone who replied. Yeah, don't reply to emails you get randomly, especially from PayPal.
Yeah, it's just a really stupid thing. You just don't do it. Don't reply to any emails that you don't know where they've come from. Don't click on any links. This is very, very important internet safety guidance that you should definitely pay attention to. And I mean that seriously. I don't mean that as a kind of, you should definitely listen to this, don't listen to this at all, that's ridiculous. No, I do mean listen to it because it is important.
Do you have any horror stories about that kind of thing? I have a couple, actually.
I don't think I have any that I've been involved in, but I've definitely obviously heard of many, many situations where it's gone really badly for people.
Okay, well, my first story involves Skype. I'm on, I think, my second Skype account now. My first one was taken down by a hacker, pretty much. Well, I don't know if I'd put it that way. It was a link, essentially. A rogue link where you click on it, it gets you details and whatnot, so I just made a new account after that just to be safe. But the funny thing is, the person who sent the link, it was obviously automated because I know the person in general would not send that type of link. It was actually Ryan from Brain Scratch.
Oh.
Trying to get me in weird and crazy ways on the Brain Scratch, lads.
I know.
But,
clearly, they're just trying to take down HellfireComms because we're clearly in that place still.
yeah, we're towering over Brain Scratch in terms of views and subs. They had to get us through the Skype, but no, it was just a random thing, and I'm fine now. But my second fuck up was, I think this was during the period where I was, like, quite poor and had to rely on donations and handouts. And I was just really hungry one night, and it was getting late. It was about 11 or so, and I just wanted takeout. And we had the money for takeout, in addition to paying the bills and whatnot. So I was like, what's open? Is this open? Is this open? Is that open? No. Oh, this one's open. I'll just get an account and make an order. Come to find out, it was a rogue site, and it took about 100 quid from us.
Yep, that sounds about right. Because you can't even... Sometimes you can look at a site and think, that looks suspicious, I'm not going to touch it. But other times, it looks okay, and then it turns out not to be. And that's the problem that you end up with, because there's often, sometimes, no way of telling that a site is a bad one until it's too late.
So I just stick to Domino's. Nah, Domino's for life.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the same here of, if it's not a trusted name, I don't go anywhere near it.
Dun dun!
Naughty Wabisque.
So his stand, Love Machine, wants to take the internet down.
Yeah. See, don't develop a hacking AI. Just don't do it.
It's a pretty awesome design, I have to say.
Oh, it really is. I love it.
It's making me want to play Cyber Sleuth, actually. I've got both of them now. One I got as a birthday present from, I believe it was a mate of mine called Matt. The second one was a Quick Look. I forget who wanted or commissioned that Quick Look, but it was a recent one Volk and I covered, and he covered the Cyber Sleuth games immensely well on the live stream, so check that Quick Look out if you want a little taste of how Digimon handles this sort of internet utopia, for lack of a better word.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was quite an enjoyable Quick Look, I have to say.
Thank you.
I mean, obviously, I completely have to say that because I'm part of the team, but hey.
No, you don't have to just, like, agree on everything we do or like everything, but you'll lose your Quick Look privileges if you don't say they're the best.
Is that the biggest loss in the world, though?
Oh no, you don't get to do more work in which I reap the majority of the benefits. Fuck my life, right? No one who develops a hacking AI drinks in this house, that's enough.
Wabisque is just like, I can't do anything about it. I didn't tell it to do anything, so it's not my problem. And it's just like, well, mate, sort of is.
Ooh, the stare of shame. He's gonna get a slap. I'm just calling it now.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Ooh, interesting. Trying to make something of itself.
Yeah.
Oh no. Not even a slap, just walking away. That's, oh no, oh no!
Badass Granny.
Dude, just get up and walk around the table. Can I breathe now?
Yes, you can. It's just about over.
Oh my god. So just run back what we heard here. He developed the AI. He got an offer, a formal offer from the army. He wanted to bring money into the house again that the family hadn't seen since the granddad passed away, etc. Am I right?
Pretty much, yeah. Obviously there's a lot of history going on because Wabiske is obviously essentially Sake's husband's illegitimate son. So obviously, her husband had an affair and had him, but she still brought up his child.
Right.
And so obviously there's a lot of complex stuff going on there. But also, yeah, he wanted to bring in money to try and help the family out, but ultimately, yeah, you don't create a hacking AI that goes and tries to destroy the world and then expect thanks for it afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, I swear to God, if she dies by the end of this movie, I'm giving it a 1 out of 5.
Well, I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen. Be pretty sad if it did.
I mean, if you live to 90, you can at least stay alive for, what, about 120 more minutes?
It'll be another 60 at this point, I think.
You ever played Hanafuda, mate?
I haven't, no. I've not really played many card games. I mean, I'd say probably my favourite is Cards Against Humanity because obviously I am an awful person.
Mm-hmm. Really gotta get Board Game Blowout up and running again. Volk's just been very busy at work and whatnot, that's why we haven't had much time for that and Spot PC.
Yeah, I know the feeling of being very busy at work.
Alright, Richie, alright, guilt accepted.
Oh, thankfully I've just come out of a really busy patch, so I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed than I have been for the past few weeks.
Recording this on a Friday night, just two buds watching anime, really, and talking over it. Kind of a win-win for her then, really. Like, if she wins, you gotta take good care of Natsuke. I guess if she loses, still gotta take good care of Natsuke.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it's quite clear that Kenji's got a little bit of a thing for Natsuki, so I'm sure he would do anyway. He seems like a nice enough lad, don't he?
Yeah, a bit of a wuss, but that can be weaned out over time.
Definitely. And also, I mean, come on, to be fair, massive maths geek. Like, of all the people I know that did maths when I was at uni, the majority of them were, like, insanely bad at human communication. Like, they were just incredibly awkward. You put them into sort of social situations, they just did not know what to do with themselves. And they were always the people who were the most difficult to talk to because they just had no real decent social understanding. Obviously, that's not the same of all people who do maths at a high level, but that is the stereotype of people who do, and that is certainly the experience that I had of people who do maths at university.
Yeah.
So
left a deep scar, didn't it, Rich?
I didn't leave a deep scar. It's just one of those things that you notice, and you're just like, yeah, that's a stereotype that is pretty real.
Mm-hmm. Is that a Shiba Inu, by the way?
I believe so.
Aww. Oh no. I don't like this. Where's this going?
I think you can probably tell where it's going, Tom.
Oh, son of a bitch, did the AI get her as well?
Not quite.
Now I see why she had that last game with Kenji.
Yeah.
The lack of music is really ramming this scene home, I gotta say.
Of course it is. This is like one of those moments where it's just like, oh shit.
Well, that's a sad halfway mark.
It is indeed. Yeah.
Who's going to lead the family now, then?
That's the thing. There is nobody to lead the family.
I guess it would be the next eldest in line, maybe?
Potentially, but obviously, yeah. Love Machine is the direct relation to why they couldn't save Sake, because the doctor in the family was using Oz to keep an eye on her, so there'd be an alarm if there was a problem. But obviously it didn't go off because of the chaos that happened, and obviously the reason that she her levels of everything went a little bit off was because of obviously all the stress of the night before. And obviously it just took it out of her, just as she was about to turn 90.
I thought she was already 90. Did I miss something?
So the reason that they were all coming together was for her 90th birthday.
Okay.
So she hadn't quite made it to 90.
Got it. Just a technicality, but still. Oh, man. That was such a cool character.
I know. But obviously, even in death, she has an immense impact on this family. And even though, obviously, she's now no longer here, she's going to be sending shockwaves throughout the rest of the film.
I swear, if some kind of digital version of her winds up embedded in Love Machine's source code and whatnot and ends up stopping him, I haven't seen the film, but if that happens, I may squeak.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to shoot that down right now.
That's very kind of you, man. It's very kind of you. Don't let me live in delusions.
Yeah, no. But I have to say, that shot was just stunning. Just obviously the quiet, almost silence as the camera just panned down the house and just everyone just frozen. That's just a beautiful tableau.
I don't know what the name for the technique is, but the actual lack of faces drawn in that scene made it more powerful.
Oh, definitely. It was because everything's obviously silhouetted because of where the light's coming in. And it is always a very effective shot to deal with. And I have to say, the cinematography throughout this film is just stunning. I mean, it was done by Yukihiro Matsumoto, and I think, yeah, just phenomenal.
I'm feeling feels, Richie.
Well, of course. I mean, this is a really heartbreaking moment.
Jesus.
And yeah, this is the other awful thing. Obviously, there are some people in the family that don't know yet that Sake's passed away.
All those people she was contacting the night before, they weren't to know it was going to be her final day / night on Earth.
Exactly. And, I mean, it's always one of those things of when do you let people know and how do you let people know? Because it's just, how do you tell someone that they cared about has passed away? Because, generally I'd say it's probably always best to do it face to face, because that way it's much more personable, and I don't know, there's something slightly easier about doing it that way, because then you can comfort the person when you're telling them that news. But I know that obviously sometimes it's not possible. I mean, I remember when my granddad passed away, I was at university, so my mum had to ring me. There was no way she could do it in person, and it's just one of those things of I feel really sorry for my mum, because I know that was probably one of the hardest phone calls she sort of would have had to have made.
Yeah.
Because it's that whole thing of, I can't be there to comfort that person when going through this sort of difficult time. And I think thankfully, because it was actually roughly around the time when I started doing comms on HellfireComms.
Mhm.
It was during the middle of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, actually. And I remember when... So my... Obviously, this is going quite serious, but we're in a serious moment, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So my granddad had lung cancer. And sort of we knew that he wasn't right for months, obviously, because he had lung cancer, but he ended up bedridden because it had gotten into his spine for the last few months of his life. So we knew that, obviously, we were coming to the end sooner than we would have liked, because I was hoping that he would have made it to my 21st and my mum's 50th, but that didn't happen. Yeah, when I went back to uni, it was sort of one of those things of, like, I hoped he'd still be there when I came back, because I wanted to show him my pantomime and stuff, but I think part of me knew it probably wasn't going to happen, and then, like, a week or two later, he passed away, and I think it was the weekend just before it happened, so like a few days before, when my mum rang up to tell me that we were sort of down to the last few days. I think that's when it probably hit me harder.
Yeah.
Because it's that moment where you just go, oh god, it's happening. And then once it happened, it was less of a thing, because it was just like, I've sort of done a lot of my crying now. And so I can sort of deal with it a bit more, but it's a very difficult thing, grief, because you never know how it's going to affect you, and you never know how it's going to affect anybody. Because I know that the way I reacted was very different to the way my sister reacted.
Yeah.
And it makes me then very interested to see how we're all going to be when it kind of happens, death happens again, because obviously, because I've still got my nana, but obviously she's getting on, and it's just like, it's one of those things where you just go, but you've got to just try your best to move on. That's the main thing with life and death. Like, it happens, it's the circle of life at the end of the day, so you just have to keep moving forward.
I don't really know how to segue gracefully from such a sensitive topic, but what the fucking hell is going on here?
To be honest, that's probably the best way to move from such a sensitive topic, because really, there's not a lot you can say. But yes, they've brought a boat to the house.
For what purpose?
Well, so obviously it's the middle of summer, and they need ice to obviously keep Sake's body cold enough so that it's not going to decompose horrifically, but also because they've bought a supercomputer to try and help stop Love Machine, because obviously Love Machine's the reason that Sake passed away in the end, so they need to get their own back.
I love how explicitly those little game consoles were DS Lites.
Well, of course. The film came out in 2009. What did you expect?
Very true, very true. I like all the little avatars representing the guys. Like, they match the characters. Even the squirrel kind of matches Kenji, really, because he's a bit nutty.
Oh, definitely. It's one of those things where when you... in pretty much any online thing, the avatar you create really does come to represent you, because obviously you create that avatar. And a lot of people... there's a reason character creation tools are very popular in a lot of games, and it's why they've been more and more and more as of late. Because people really like seeing themselves in the content that they consume. And it's just pretty awesome to be able to represent yourself, and so you tend to go with something that is very much you.
Hope you guys like those not Game Grumps heads that are on the new thumbnails and whatnot. It's just so you can tell at a glance who's in what commentary. I was initially hesitant to them. They were full body at first. I shot that idea down right away. And my face was thinner. I said, no, fatter, damn you, Carter. We can't go fatter. Because I don't like lying with, like, my digital persona. I just don't. I'm so averse to it.
I know, well, I mean, I'm sure Kato loves me because I was very picky with mine as well. Because it was just like, no, that the hair needs to be longer, it needs to, the way it needs to fall needs to be better, and yeah, I don't look right without a pair of glasses online for some reason. Like, I wear glasses, but only for whenever I'm, like, watching a film or something, or driving, anything long distance. Otherwise I don't, but in any sort of online persona, I've always had glasses. I don't know why, I just do. I don't think it looks right otherwise.
Oh, the sinkage right here. Yeah, apart from that, siblings are great though.
Oh, they really are.
It's go time. I love how, like, the tipping point of this movie is one big LAN party.
Well, of course, but I mean, you've got to find some way of stopping the end of the world via hacking AI.
Oh, it's not the end of the world. We'll live without internet for a few years.
Well, yeah, but if everything else gets buggered up,
Don't tie all your systems into one easily hackable thing, then.
I mean, yeah, this is the key thing, but it's kind of the way the world's going.
Oh. Well, that was the BBC logo for a second, though.
Yeah, you look at it and just go, do, 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 do.
Did he always have blonde hair?
I don't think so. I think he decided to give it to him to make it more him. Because I think he's finally become more okay with himself.
Okay.
Which I think is a nice touch, because obviously he's got a bit of a thing because his mum's pregnant and going to have a kid, and obviously there's that whole difficult thing to deal with.
Oh, this is cool.
This is really cool. It's the fight sequences, there's only a few of them in the film, but they're really awesome.
That's fine. Like, I think a live-action comparison would be V for Vendetta. The most of it is, like, I don't want to say political, but it's a lot of intrigue and mystery, and there's, like, 3 or so fight scenes in the movie that I remember. I remember actually being surprised by that, but satisfied after the movie ended, because it's quality over quantity. You can have both, for sure, but if you're only going to have quality, that's fine, so long as they're, really well animated and choreographed.
Oh, definitely. It's the whole thing of most people will enjoy a film as long as it's well constructed. There's a reason that, I mean, obviously this is potentially opening up a massive can of worms, but there's a reason that the Marvel films are pretty much consistently well beloved, and the DCU films have been less so, and that's because of how they've been constructed.
Can you elaborate on that, or just, like, leave it for the shitpost to take over?
I'll leave it for the shitpost, because really it's one of those things where let's not actually have the debate, it's just a sort of general look at that issue to say that perceived quality tends to do well for things rather than perceived quantity.
Fair enough, mate. So what's the deal with his, like, ring of life? Is he absorbing avatars through that?
He is indeed. That kind of circle, that sort of God circle, is all of the accounts that he has taken over.
Played on a DS. Amazing.
Well, of course, everything's connected, and therefore he totally can.
It's a good job every avatar doesn't need, like, wings and whatnot to fly. That would seriously hamper your, like, visual design.
It really would, but you're in this sort of world, so I think it's just very effective.
You sure the ice back there was for keeping Grandma nice and cool and not for the computers specifically?
Well, I think it was initially intended for the computers. Whether it remains that way is a different kettle of fish.
Right. Alright, now we Diaboromon.
Now we very Diaboromon. I mean, we've been Diaboring Mon for a while now, but now we're trapping him in one location, and yeah, we're going to destroy him.
Oh, that's satisfying. That's really satisfying.
Oh, it really is.
Oh, not even going to touch that one. I leave myself way too open there. Oh, they're just going to drown it or something?
Well, I think that's sort of part of the plan, anyway. They're doing pretty much everything they can to stop this beast.
He was. Yeah, don't speak too soon. Getting a lot of errors here. Oh no! The red X of death.
Yeah. When you see that, you're just like, oh no! This is bad.
Oh no, the pagodas are imploding. Godzilla must be nearby.
Well, I think it's the love machine that's nearby, really. I have to say, why the hell did they call this enemy, this hacking AI, the love machine? It's just like, mate.
It's ironic, mate. Oh my god. Ice melts, you silly. Oh, okay. You were right after all, it seems. There you go.
Yeah, they took the ice over there to keep the body cool. I get the principle, but saving the world, probably a more important use of ice, if you ask me. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't like to have a decomposing corpse in my house either, but there's one that's probably more important than the other, technically.
I wouldn't want a corpse in the house, period, mate. I'm sorry.
I mean, I know, but some people find comfort in that.
Love Machine Digivolve 2! It's happening.
It really is.
Come on, give me some super forms to top this off with. I'm waiting for it. Oh my god!
Yep, he's using all of the accounts that he's got access to completely obliterate the center of Oz.
There you go. Love Machine EX. Surprised no hack pseudo-anime production company has made a YouTube version of this yet.
It's probably because pretty much everyone who's watched the film just really appreciates it and loves it, and they wouldn't want to touch it with that.
I'm assuming for, like, the sanity of the animators, that's CGI.
I would assume so, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just... If there is CGI, and I'm pretty sure there is, it's just really seamlessly mixed in with everything else. So while you can sort of see it, it's not that noticeable. It just fits in seamlessly with the entire world. So it's all good.
This guy is, not very observant, is he?
No, he's really not. Yeah, you should probably watch his language around those kids. It's kind of dropping the F bomb.
That everyone will think it's daylight savings time all the time.
Oh, you just made me remember that the clocks are going forward this weekend.
Yeah, well, the Americans experience it first, then we get it.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Tom, you know how you said about you didn't want there to be something going on? Yeah, we've got a countdown clock.
Oh no. Oh, this is a bit more wide scale than our war games.
Teeny bit, yeah. Yeah, it's really, really bad. The satellite is going to land on one of the power plants, which is obviously going to cause a pretty big nuclear explosion.
Pretty big, yeah. I think Japan's experienced enough of those for one lifetime.
I think the entire world's experienced enough for one lifetime. Obviously, I know Japan bore the brunt of it, but still, the world's had far too many nuclear attacks already. We don't need any more. But for it to, actually happen and hit one of those, that's pretty much end game territory. Yeah, now all of the women in the family actually begin to realise what's been going on under their noses.
Mm-hmm. Bit more important than a baseball game, let's put it that way.
Heartbreaking, but a bit more important than a funeral.
Yeah. Well, best get to hacking. I'm sorry, we Digimon now, Mum.
Yeah, it's not just a game anymore. It stopped being a game at least an hour ago.
Love returns to the camera and just said Jumanji. You know what really shocks me is that the most recent Jumanji, the sequel, actually did really well. Like, really well.
I know. It got pretty decent reviews in the grand scheme of things. Part of me makes it... I kind of want to watch it now. It's one of those things where you see something coming and you just go, ooh, I'm not sure. But then it gets decent reviews and you're just like, well, if it got decent reviews, then it can't be that bad. Obviously, the worry comes sometimes when you see negative reviews and you're just like, oh. Because while reviews aren't everything, sometimes they are a good indicator of whether something is of at least some level of quality.
Right, this is where the emails come in and power him up, and he fuses, and he becomes Omnimon, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm just being a little shit right now. So we've got about half an hour left. That's fucking aesthetic as shit, mate. So, how the hell are they gonna, wrap this all up?
Well, I will say it's pretty amazing how they do wrap this up.
take him out from inside, maybe?
No.
I'll have to make another account.
I think there's a little bit more at stake than just the account going on in Kazuma's mind.
I know. It's got that martial arts pride and whatnot.
I know, and also, he's 13. Like, the amount of pressure he just put himself under to try and, save the world. For a 13-year-old, that's just insane.
Still got the squirrel. Maybe we could launch it at the guy and hope he gets annoyed and just gives up.
No, there's another way that's actually probably more intelligent. Because it's entirely maths related because we're from the UK and it's mathematics.
Yep, pluralise that shit. I was actually wondering if they had touch phones or smartphones in this, because Kenji uses a flip phone, doesn't he?
Yes, well, obviously everyone uses. Well, I mean, I don't know why Kenji doesn't have. Well, no, I do know. His family don't really have any money, so can't afford a touch phone. Obviously, this came out in 2009, so that wasn't actually that long after the iPhone had come out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane to think that when this film came out, we were only really at the beginning of social media blowing up, and now here we are, and it basically has taken over the world.
Hey, you're not feeling so sassy now, are you, Mr. Man? Because of the thing he made.
Yes.
He didn't mean for this to happen. He was just trying to bring money into the family, but that's the thing with artificial intelligence. It literally has a mind of its own.
Yep.
Ooh, the symbolism.
Yep.
Even though he wasn't her son blood-wise, she still took care of him.
Indeed.
I like how the opening is calm the fuck down.
Pretty much, but then you've got to think, she's like proper true matriarch, and sort of when you are like that, it's just like, no, I know you're going to be hurting, and I know you're going to be worrying about what to do, but just calm down. It'll be okay. And just keep doing what you're doing because you've been doing good.
He's a good guy after all.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get stuck in traffic.
That'll be awkward.
Yeah, that. You see, now you're using the word awkward.
Oh,
it's
shut
not just
up.
me.
I've only used it once. Oh, so this is her first meeting with Wabisco.
Indeed, it is.
Okay. I was actually just checking my recording at the time, so I'm sorry. Sometimes I gotta look away from the screen. Metaphorically or physically.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
Very much so. I'm sorry, Grandma, those two things are kind of inevitable sometimes.
Sometimes, but I think the idea is that wherever possible, that's sort of all that matters. Not necessarily the eating, it does matter because obviously you need it to survive, but just spending time together. If you've got family, don't be alone because you're so stubborn.
Yeah. Looking at you, Wabasque. Speaking of, Jesus, didn't realise we were watching Initial D.
Yeah, he pretty much booted it here.
Lunch forgives all.
And of course, food brings family together.
She's still watching the game, Jesus.
Of course she's still watching the game, she don't have a clue what's going on.
Make amends and then fix the problem. Hey, you gotta eat before you fight. It's just one of the rules of engagement.
Exactly. And, yeah, it's always good for a little bit of a historical anecdote.
Uh-huh. They're kind of ramming this point home, but they're the small army up against the huge one, because obviously Love Machine is made up of, like, millions upon millions of avatar accounts.
Exactly. And it's that whole thing of a family together is incredibly strong.
Wabasque's design reminds me of another character in anime, and I'm trying. Oh, I know, he reminds me of Vincent from Catherine.
Yes, he really does.
It was bugging me throughout the whole movie. I was like, just figured it out. Heard you were talking shit online like I wouldn't find out. Oh. Interesting. Oh, it's a feast for my eyes!
Of course.
Nice. We're ending this with fucking card games. It couldn't end any more beautifully.
Well, of course, also it couldn't end any more thematically appropriately. Because obviously you had the whole thing of Sake slaying Hanafuda. And obviously it's a thing that this family has played for many years together. It's effectively the symbol of their family.
Alrighty then, let the games begin. Kind of want to cover Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side Dimensions on the channel at some point, but I guess Hanafuda will have to do for now.
Hanafuda will definitely have to do for now, and also I will not be present at that one because I know absolutely sweet sod all about Yu-Gi-Oh! Other than obviously the original anime and Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, so let's avoid that one.
I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged in years.
It's still quite good, it just obviously takes a while for parts to come out.
Yeah. Understandable. Richie, what's Koi Koi?
Give me a second.
Look up Rules of Hanafuda.
So Koi Koi is a popular game. Basically, it means "come on," which is said when the player wants to continue the hand. The object of the game is to form special card combinations called Yaku from cards accumulated in a point pile. Players can gain cards in their point piles by matching cards in their hand or drawn from the draw pile with cards on the table. Once a Yaku has been made, a player can stop to cash in points or keep going, referred to as Koi Koi, hence the name of the game. To form additional Yaku for more points. The points value assigned to individual cards have no effect on the score, but they are helpful to judge their value in forming Yaku. But yeah, Love Machine ain't doing too hot at this Hanafuda Koi Koi just yet.
Well, he might win by attrition at this rate, because there's just so many accounts that he's taken.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, let's see how this goes down. That's roughly about the time left in the movie as well, so I see what you do. I see what you're doing there, Madhouse. I see what you're doing.
It's very fitting.
Koi Koi. Say it! Koi Koi!
Well, right now she can't Koi Koi. You know how you said about all the emails coming in, giving all the power?
Uh-huh.
Well...
You fucking hack frauds, I love you. Oh, come on! Come on!
You see, this is why I said this is basically our war game, but better.
It is. It really is.
And I don't think I realised at the time when I was watching it that it is so similar to our war game, but it really is, and I think that's probably part of the reason why I love it so much is because it's basically war game done properly and in the depth that that idea could have been, and I think that's why it ends up being so fascinating and so brilliant at the same time.
Well, it was always the best part of the Digimon movie, for me, at least the dub version.
I mean, it really was, and I think being able to take it to this extra level just shows that, as an idea, it had a lot of legs.
Yeah, very much so. The light of hope!
Indeed. John and Yoko come together to upgrade Natsuki's account.
Are you kidding me? Is she actually digivolving?
Not necessarily, well, yeah, she's basically digivolving, or having, a magical girl transformation. Either or.
Wow, talk about a glow up.
Oh, hell yes.
A rare item, she got a rare drop. Yeah, that'll do it. What an amazingly simple yet extravagant ending to this.
Oh, hell yes.
No, you shouldn't have kept playing, I'm gonna lose.
You see, this is what happens when you get too greedy.
Koi koi, motherfucker! God, I fucking love Madhouse. They do action so well.
I know, it's just frickin' stunning and I love it.
Have you seen One Punch Man, actually?
I haven't, but I don't even care right now because I'm in love with Summer Wars still.
2 left? What's the 2 left?
You're about to find out.
Oh, of course it will be Kenji's original account and, the King.
Not sure whether it's King Kazuma or not, but we're about to find out either way.
No! Should have played Magic the Gathering instead!
Yeah, he might have stood a better chance of winning that one.
Get that weak Hanafuda losing shit out of here. I'm not sure whether that was cooler or not than Omnimon, like, stabbing McFucker guy in the face.
It's very different, but I adore it. I think it's one of those things where it's just a simple card game, but it's done so brilliantly that just a simple card game just elevates in terms of the stakes, and it's just like, it's really epic and beautiful, and it's just like, hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also I say it's more thematically appropriate than stabbing Diaboromon through the face.
Yeah. Oh, breathe again. Japan is saved.
Though there are still 2 accounts left.
Don't look away from the screen. Not done. Still going. You're not done yet. Oh my god, he is such a sore loser.
He really is.
I've heard of an AI holding a grudge before, but Summer Wars is impressing me, so I'll take it as it is.
Oh, definitely, and there's 10 minutes left to go! And what I really, really love about this finale is that Kazuma got a moment to be a badass, Natsuki got a moment to be a badass, and now it's Kenji's turn. It all started with Kenji, and now it's going to end with Kenji.
Yeah, he's a surprisingly not very proactive protagonist up to this point, but I guess that was on purpose to make this all the more explosive.
Oh, definitely. And also, it's the whole thing of when you've got this sort of quiet person, they do tend to get lost in this sort of mass of a family. You don't know what to do with it. But then, in the moments where it's necessary, they're able to blossom. And I think that's the thing that's obviously happened with Kenji throughout this, of he's managed to kind of come out of his shell a bit more as the film's progressed, and sort of this is his moment.
Mm-hmm. And hey, seems like he's part of the family regardless of whether he's actually marrying Natsuki now, so...
Exactly, and to be fair, if they survive this, there's a chance that he might very well end up marrying her. If the relationship continues and goes well, obviously. And they survive. That's kind of the important bit right now.
Well, dude, could you wish for a better husband than the guy who's helped save the world?
Exactly. I wish I was this good at maths.
I wish I could add 2 plus 2. There you go. Get up. Punch him out. Oh, couldn't kind of fine.
Just a bit.
Son of a bitch. He's not going to be able to solve it while Love Machine keeps changing it, so I guess the King's going to have to come in and do damage control. Oh no! My anxiety! Oh, thank Christ. Not this time, motherfucker! Oh!
Beautiful!
Mwah. Amazing. So what, is it gonna, like, gently plonk on the ground now?
Not necessarily.
Oh, please blow up the boat. Please blow up the boat. That'll be amazing.
It's not quite the boat, but...
Better than that. You're still alive.
And I think the boat's still going to get pretty wrecked. As is the house, to be fair, but hey, they're not dead.
They can rebuild. It's much better than having it go, like, terminal velocity into the house.
Exactly.
That's it. I'm cancelling my WoW account.
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad if that happened at some point in reality. Bloody hell.
Those kids are going to have some amazing stories to tell when they get into high school.
Yeah. I mean, part of me says that's if they remember the situation, because obviously they're quite young, but still. But also, look, it all worked out in the end. The kids won! The baseball game, obviously, because everyone was really bothered about that side plot.
Whew! Thank you. I needed resolution and I got it. Oh, what a baseball! And now, the ending.
Indeed.
Oh, they combined a funeral with a birthday.
Of course, it's only right.
Oh, what a lovely way to send her off. All happy. Got squid for days, son.
Well, yeah, they definitely do have squid for days.
God. She touched a lot of people's lives, didn't she?
She did indeed.
Ah, look at him a different way now, aren't you, Natsuki?
Well, wouldn't you?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that information, Richard. Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised they got away with actually using, like, copyright terms like CNN and YouTube and whatnot.
Well, clearly they've got some brilliant people in their the legal team.
Go on, do it. This is not fair. I saved the fucking world. Do it!
Do it!
Koi koi! There you go. Oh, bless. Weak and pathetic. Oh no, the painting's possessed. Oh, what a cute note to end on.
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, I love this film so much. It's brilliant. It really is one of my favourite animes of all time. It's phenomenal.
I gotta say, tiny bit of a slow start, but it definitely built and built and built. And mostly this is a film for me about family and the familial ties and the ins and outs and, you know, interpersonal relationships and the politics that go with that. You know, the matriarch, the illegitimate, you know, offspring and so on. The digital world stuff is fantastic and a wonderful extension of our war games, but it's that family, the heart of the movie, that really does it for me. And I'm actually really... Patrick Seitz?
Yeah?
Dio?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't realise he was writing. It might be a different Patrick Seitz, I don't know. But I want to thank you, patrons, for selecting this film for us to cover, because I had a really good time with this. I enjoyed it a lot. I swear I'm not just saying that because you guys commissioned and paid for this. I actually did enjoy it. It is, like Richie said, it's everything I wanted out of war games, expanded upon, and it just feels a lot more satisfying. The characters are great, music's great, action is fantastic, animation is beautiful, although what can you expect from Madhouse, really? They are top tier. And it's got excellent pacing. The comedy's, you know, it's not super explosive, like laugh out loud, but it's nice and cute and charming. And, yeah, I really enjoyed this. And, I would actually like to cover The Girl Who Let Through Time.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the future. So, maybe I'll put that on the patron spot. But, if you guys want to see a movie, within reason, whatever it is, leave a comment down below, and it may turn up on a patrons poll in the future. It only costs $1 to pledge to HFC. You can do it per month or just one-off when the poll goes up. And that $1 gets you access to our Discord, the Patreon patrons Discord. Bit redundant, but whatever. And you also get the ability to vote in polls. $5 and up gets you videos early, plus all the stuff in the $1 tier, and it goes from there. Just check the site for all the tier lists and rewards. But thank you, Richie. You made this a very engaging and wonderful experience, so thank you.
Well, thank you very much for having me for this film that I love it so much.
I really can't think of a better film to cap off the HFC 10-year anniversary with. It's making me hopeful for the future, and I'm glad we reached this point. No regrets. Keep moving forward. Don't let a satellite fall on your house. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, guys, I'm going to cut stuff off here. So I've been Entom64.
And I have been X-Gamer Richie.
Thank you for watching the Hellfire commentaries commentary. I really should change that outro at one point. It's a bit redundant. Of Summer Wars. Goodbye.